Good afternoon. This is Victor Jimenez with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 3720 Valley Brink Road in Los Angeles, and I'm in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line for Howard Altman. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping which is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. Now, the building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping which are interior to or underneath the structure. Today's video examination is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. Alright, so I've accessed today's main sewer line from a maintenance access here at the back of the structure. This isn't the normal or intended use for maintaining the main sewer line. However, it did suit our purposes today to be able to access it. As a note, I have marked out the area in the front yard where the main sewer line access should be, the maintenance access should be, and I'll be including that in my report as something that should be fixed as part of this line. Now, I've pushed out about 55 feet to public sewer from exiting the structure in the front, and I'm going to be doing this video examination coming from public sewer back to the access point which I used today. Now, before I start, I'll just want to explain that the main sewer line is a combination of two different types of materials. The first section we'll be going through is the vitrified clay, which is a very common material for main sewer lines. Now, the clay does have a long service life expectancy. However, it is more susceptible to damage during earthquakes or seismic activity, and has a tendency to let in roots at the joint areas. What we're looking at right now is an instance of that. Now, when we see roots at the joint areas on these clay pipes, this is normally considered a maintenance issue. With regular cleanings, the line can be maintained so that it functions satisfactorily. Left unmaintained or unchecked, the roots do have a tendency or a possibility of causing damage or breaks to the line. We're not seeing any of that in this line so far. It is something to note. Now, the main sewer line exits the front of the structure on the left side under some of the windows there, and pretty much heads in a direct path towards the center of the street to connect up with public sewer. So what we're running into here is pretty common case of root intrusion. Nothing extremely excessive, but would be indicative of the fact that you would need to be getting this line cleaned, regular maintenance of this, keep it functioning. The roots aren't extremely excessive here, so it doesn't seem that there's a large amount of block to the flow of sewer line. However, it is something that would need to be maintained. Alright. Now, there is one situation we're running into on this line, which is the point at which it converts from this clay piping, which is what we're in right this second, into a cast iron piping. There is a bit of a misalignment. And what it's causing is it's causing an incorrect sloping with this section of the clay piping. The incorrect sloping produces this body of water, which you see the pipe has standing water in it. And this does have a possibility, especially with the roots at these joint areas, to create blockages or debris buildup because the line isn't being properly sloped. So this is something that we would be recommending to get repaired, this section. So as I mentioned, there's two different types of materials in this line. We're moving here from that vitrified clay into a cast iron piping. Now, the cast iron piping has differences to the clay in that it typically has a 70 to 80-year service life expectancy. Typically has that sort of lifespan. And what we look for when we run into these cast iron pipings is indications of excessive wear and tear or breakdown. This one has, it definitely has the buildup of the rust and scale, somewhat significant. We don't see any roots protruding into the system, so it's not that this line has completely failed, but it is showing the signs of being an older system, and it definitely needs to be, replacement on this line at some point in the future needs to be thought with. Can't be 100% certain of exactly how much longer this line is going to last. It is functioning. This cast iron piping and this other section is functioning correctly or as intended right now, but it is showing signs of being somewhat of an older system. Alright, now we're coming to the point here, right about this point. So at this point I've marked out in the front yard where the main sewer line access should be. This would be a cleanout installed primarily to maintain the main sewer line, specifically those root intrusions towards the end in that clay section. It's not a great idea to continuously be running hydrojetting or snaking through this cast iron piping, it not having as long of a service life as the clay, and so the proper clean out would be installed at this point. So I flagged that out with a pink marker flag. Now this next portion of the line is the building drain line system. As I mentioned in the onset of the video, this is not the focus of the examination. It looks pretty much the same as this section of cast iron that is out under the front yard. Nothing of really much concern here other than it is a cast iron pipe. It's a bit of an older system. You don't need to replace this immediately, but it is good to know that this line does not have the service length of some of the other materials, and replacement definitely needs to be understood as something that will be needed at some point in the future. Alright, so I'm going to go through this last part a little bit faster. I'm going to show you the clean out which we accessed today. Alright. We're here at the back of the structure, and just a little cap here is where we access the line today. Alright, and with that I'm going to wrap up the video portion of today's examination. Once again, this is Victor Jimenez with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.